Yo, so today's the 1st of February, and this video will be going up tomorrow. Um, and I like to say this to just show the well, from y'all's vantage point, it's consistent because it's uploads are going up every week. But for me, it's a psychological, like, accountability thing where I'm filming the day before and then posting the day after, which isn't good. I want to be intentional about creating content throughout the days, documenting things throughout the days as they happen, creating a story instead of sitting back having to reflect on everything. But being completely honest, the last couple of weeks have been really difficult for me and more spiritually based, and I'm starting to come out of it now. Actually, having had came out of it now, and so for a little bit of context and just transparency, the last 2 weeks have been specifically difficult as far as lustful like thoughts and sexual immoral sexual immoral like thoughts and things like that, and my self condemnation is strong at times because I feel like God has done such an amazing work, a beautiful work, you know, allowing me to be, or putting me in a position to be discipled, putting me in a position to lead a co-ed space, a co-ed group where I had to relearn how to see his daughters and learn to communicate with them the same way that God communicates with his daughters. And, to even go further beyond that, to learn that we have this principle in our discipleship, which is, I would be spiritually motivated, not emotionally attached. And the way that my teacher broke it down was that anything you foresee yourself doing has to be in alignment with what it is that you're doing right now. So for me, I see myself being a husband one day. And so if I'm entertaining women who I don't see as being my wife, or if I'm entertaining women just for like pleasures here in the moment, or if I see myself as a father and I'm not talking to women and speaking life into them, like it goes against the very thing that I'm working towards. And it doesn't make sense. And so he basically was like, if this is what you see yourself doing, then do that. I think it's in Hebrews, yeah, it's in Hebrews 12 where it talks about you have yet to shed blood in the resistance of sin and temptation. You have to be willing to die on the fight and resisting these things. And God has done such an amazing work. And because of his grace, I've been blessed to receive this goodness and have developed some consistency. Like I've been celibate for over a year now. Um, Nothing, no struggles, not no struggles, but like I haven't given into anything, been very intentional about separating myself, intentional about like communicating with his daughters and women consistently, and I'm really proud of myself. But at the beginning of the year, these thoughts and things that I thought I had a control over, like my flesh, I thought my spirit, I thought we had such a strong control over our flesh and how it communicates. And it's only communicating within the boundaries that I've set for it, that when its voice got really loud, I felt like I was doing something wrong. And it got louder and louder to the point to where like my safe spaces, like my prayer closet and other things like that, start to feel unsafe. And for context, like I was sleeping in my prayer closet. And so whenever I feel unsafe, like spiritually, I would go and sleep in my prayer closet because I know that the enemy doesn't have access. But it started to feel like the enemy or my flesh was getting louder in that space. And so God had to like stop me because I felt like I was like losing it. And he led me to go on a walk. And I might show y'all some of the clips over there if I do go back. But he led me on a walk at this nature preserve across the street from my complex. And while I was there, like I just prayed and I was like, Lord, like I, in my mind, I feel like a sin, like a strong sin like that can't be a thorn. And I just kind of leaned into God and allowed him to lead me wherever it was he needed me to go. And eventually he ended up reminding me about Paul and how Paul was saying like God allowed the enemy to attack so that he would then understand that God's grace is sufficient. And because his grace is sufficient, I will therefore boast all the more greatly in my weaknesses. Because when I am weak, then I am made strong. And, sometimes I get away from the grace part of it, the fact that like I am truly a sinner at heart and the difficulties that come with that. I feel because of this calling that's on my life to become a very successful trader and to, to be a leader amongst other things and to be a voice. I forget that like what makes us these things is the fact that we are weak and God shows up on the other side of that. And I feel like I have to stand up a little bit taller, in certain spaces. And so when I'm at home by myself and it's me and the Lord and I can't, I kind of beat myself up a little bit. And so because of that, it's been really difficult. Plus that started to have an impact on a relationship with a friend of mine. And I really had to stop and step back and like reset so that I could not ruin that friendship and not lose myself in the process. And so God really led me on that journey, and I'm grateful for it. I'm also proud of myself for the fact that I didn't trade at all this week. I didn't take any trades. There were opportunities, but I didn't force anything. I just sat back and you know didn't move. And I think sometimes as traders, like we forget that not every day is a trading day, and not every week is a trading week, and we don't have to take trades. And so I'm proud of myself for not doing that. And so, yeah, there was another thing that did happen trading wise that I didn't talk about last week, but I had a couple of trades that were doing exceptionally well. I think I posted in the last video, but I'll put it back up here.
Okay, quick update. Today is the 22nd, and currently up about 168 pips. Price is about to break structure. I believe it already broke on the 4-hour. Let's see. Yeah, price already broke on the 4-hour, but it's about to confirm on the 8-hour and on the daily. I changed my TP for two reasons. The first being I do believe that price can get up to here because price is about to break this downtrend. It actually already broke it, and if price just broke that, it can push all the way back up to here. That's number one. Number two is also because if price gets to this level, then I also pass phase one. So I did set my TP as that, just because I am fairly confident, especially with this daily candle about to close that way. So yeah, we'll see. My stop loss is currently in profit. It's down here. I think that's about 2%, 2-ish%. So pair is looking pretty good. Let's see. Then here's the trade locker, currently up about 6,000. Like I said, that's how much we're looking to make. This is a 100K account. Currently down this much, is a little over 3K, but this trade hits, we'll be, we'll pass phase one. So yeah.
But I had a trade that I think I was up like 6%. Yeah, I was up in profit about 6%. I scaled in and got into another position. And that trade, that scaled in position, ended up doing really poorly. It went straight to stop loss. I just got in too early. But overall, I made 4% on that trade. And so later that night, I scaled back in the right way.
Okay, so real quick, forgive me for the owner of this vehicle. I'm currently valeting. I'm at work. I think today's the 23rd. Hopefully this audio is at least decent. But I just executed a trade on EJ. I submitted an order. The order tripped and just got executed, or just got filled, I think is the technical term. But anyways, I'm in the trade. It's a 1 to 5, 1 to 2, or 1 to 5.2, something like that. I feel great about the trade overall. It was kind of like in the moment, and I went through my process with God. I'll talk about that later and make a video about that later when I get home. But just want to say I executed the trade. I'm currently in a Lexus, a very nice Lexus. But
Yeah, much love. Just executed it. I'm at break even, so if this trade loses, it's a 2% loss. If it's a winner, I should pass. So we'll see what happens. But yeah.
And ended up, let me see. That trade ended up was doing really well until news hit, and then it just reversed and hit stop loss. And so at the end of the week, I was down about 2%, which is fine. But that night, I want to say last Friday night, I don't know what that day is, but last Friday night, I got an email from Top Tier, and they're like, basically, I soft breached and broke their risk. They said I over leveraged. Long story short, and I'll put the screenshot, but they said I over leveraged, and I was really irritated by this because I didn't. Like I risk about 2% every trade for prop firms, and I was already in profit about 4%. And so when I took that trade, I gained 4% overall, and I only risked 2%. And they're saying because they have a fixed lot size. Let me fix this. They have a fixed lot size. Oh, now it looks crazy. Come on, let's go back. They have a fixed lot size for their risk or their over leveraging rule. And so if you exceed that per pair that you trade, it's a breach. And so my first two trades for GJ, though they were or EJ, though they were at 2% risk because it exceeded their loss or their lot size limiter, it breached and they took away the profits for that trade that I made, profit on that 4% gain. And I was really pressed about it. And I ended up calling my dude Landon, and I was talking to him about it. And I appreciate him so much. I'm so grateful for it. And I wish I would have recorded it in the moment. But he's like, bro, I'm going to tell you this as a really good friend of yours and as somebody and because I believe in you as a trader, because I know like you're going to be a very successful trader. You're already a great trader, but you're only going to get better. He's like, bro, as long as I've known you, you've never failed a prop firm challenge because of your trading. He's like, you've passed multiple times. He's like, however, anytime you've lost an account, it's been because you broke a rule of some form or fashion. He said you're like an anarchist to the prop firm trading rules. And that made me laugh. He was like, bro, you got to understand, like, you have to use these accounts to make money and then funnel that into your own account so that you can trade the way that you want to trade. He's like, you're already a successful trader. If you want, you can get a $50,000 withdrawal, put that into your own account with a broker and flip that account. You have the capability of flipping that account with a high enough leverage. You have the capability. He's like, but just play within the lines, play within the bounds, and trade the way that you can. He's like, stop trying to trade the way that you want to trade if the rules won't allow it. He's like, because you're going to keep hitting these rules and you're going to end up losing the accountants, not, trading at your full potential. And I was like, man, like, you're low key right. I was like, you're low key right. Like, I can do that, and I appreciate him and his accountability in that moment to say that. Because for me, I know I'm consistent. I know I have the capability. Like, I wouldn't have made this channel and spoke about this crazy dream of having a $250,000 account at the end of the year, starting from zero. So 0 to 250K. If I wasn't capable of doing it, God's blessed me with the skill and the abilities, and I see him show up in the charts day in and day out. I know I can do it. I just have to be a little bit more patient. And so we're going to work on it. But currently the account, since I got played, in my opinion, but currently the account, I'm down about, technically I'm only down 2%, but because they took away that 4.5% gain, I'm now down about 7%. So I have to climb out of the hole and then profit, which I can do in about 2.5 trades to pass. And then we'll go from there. But like I said, I'm going to keep y'all posted. I'm going to try to document more things throughout this journey, like my day-to-day, how God shows up, how I maintain my psychology, whether it's going on walks, work, friends. Like I said, my homie, one of my brothers, he just dropped his brand, World of. So y'all are seeing this and y'all want to check out a Christian brand. It's called World of, and so definitely tap in to that. But he just released that. So I'm super proud of him. But yeah, there's a lot of great things going on around me and through me, and so it's not easy, but consistency is the name of the game, and we're gonna continue to kill it. So I'm at HEB. I'm finna get something to eat, but we'll talk. See y'all later.